Taurus, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. How are y'all doing? Happy New Year. I think the first day is always like a day of of recovery, depending on how much sleep you got the night before. Today's a new day. Today feels fresh and clean. How are you all doing? All right. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a hot minute since I've read for you. I'm excited to see what's happening. We've got some lovely pre-shuffled oracle messages I'm getting into in a moment, but we're going to take a look at the tarot first. We're going to find out what the overall general energy is for the month of January, what you may not see coming. We're going to get some important advice from Spirit too today. Let's get started. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Taurus. All right, Taurus. Let's get the current energy. Where are you at? Current energy. Taurus. Ooh, feeling successful. Base energy. 6 of Wands. You could feel like you're ready to step into the limelight in 2025. Ready to be seen, ready to mingle. You could have recently got a promotion or you're anticipating leveling up in work and business. What's crossing you? Knight of Cups. Okay, so, you've got perhaps some sort of new opportunity for romance in love. It doesn't mean it's a new person. It just means that you could feel like someone's wanting to shower you with attention, Taurus. This definitely looks like you're glowing up because someone's got their eye on you. You could even have a secret admirer. Knight of Cups is someone with romance on their mind, and you're reaching out, and I think you are feeling like they are noticing you. If this doesn't have to do with a love situation, it could do with people at work noticing you and your efforts and all the work you're putting in. In the new year, you could be making significant strides in advancement in your career. Overall general energy, 2 of Wands. You definitely are holding on to the new. We're going to see that reflected here in a moment in the pre-shuffled messages, but you are at the end of a cycle and you've been burning off the residual energies from the past. Whenever I see the 2 of Wands, it's when we take a moment to pause. We're in a transitionary phase and we're considering what we want next. And we're manifesting and we're intending and we're trying to keep our optimism high. There's a mental shift going on in what you think is possible for you, Taurus. And you could have love on your mind or wanting, to date or be, romanced. Or you have more of a focal point on just balancing everything out in your life and feeling the emotion flow towards the new. Opportunity, the Fool. And right when I say that, towards the new, we have the Fool. So you are at the beginning of a new cycle. We're at the Fool's journey here. She's reaching out into the air element, capturing the light of the sun and the wind and the amethyst, using her intuition. And she's kind of like some people, in this card, she says that, her feet are a little stuck in the mud and she's getting some assistance from the universe and she's trying to trust. This is like a half trust fall. And she's leaning in, right, to the cosmic forces here of manifestation. And she's like, I'm just going to take a little bit of that, please. I'm just leaning in, going to grab some. And it's like you're kind of trust falling into a new cycle, into a new beginning with a lot of hope and faith in what you're manifesting because you are intending. A lot of you have been setting those wonderful intentions and you're ready for it. Poised and ready. Challenge. The Hermit. Maybe you've been, when we're hermiting and we're in our solitude, we start to lean into it. We're like, oh, this is kind of nice. This is kind of nice. I could get used to this. So, but we're meant to interact with the world. We're meant to enjoy relationship. So there's something challenging you. I'm feeling more it's about coming out of your shell. That's what I'm picking up on there. 2 major arcana in your opportunity and challenge. So you've got a tall order this week to come out of maybe a little bit of hiding and start a whole new cycle after maybe wrapping up something from the past that you needed to release. And it could have to do with romance. You might have let go of a previous relationship and now you're opening up. You've done a lot of the healing work. You've gone inward. You've been deeply contemplative. But the challenge is coming out of that. Okay. Now, ooh, yeah. And coming out of it, you are another major arcana. So Taurus, you definitely are starting off this year with a bang. Chariot. You know, the Chariot, a lot of people, they assume the High Priestess is all about your intuition, and it is, but we don't always realize that the Chariot, I mean, this is a Cancerian vibe. So, and Cancers have this really deep, deep emotional, what's the word? Lens, an emotional lens. And it's the emotion and the intuition that steers the Chariot. So this is right here, the calm water. It's like the more you center, and I love this, and then maybe that's what you've been learning. The more you center yourself and the more you go inward and you pause, you put yourself on the right path. And another indication of the Chariot is your willpower, right? Your confidence to move in a new direction. This also implies swift movement where your lower self, your higher self, or however you want to call it, ego, true self, shadow light, we're working together now. I don't have my ego taking me where I don't want to go, right? So I do feel like you've been learning a lot of lessons, and your emotional waters have calmed down as of late, and you're anticipating moving forward into a new journey with a lot of hope and feeling victorious. There's a lot of victory in where you arrive, I think, energetically in January. What you don't see coming, Knight of Wands. Yeah, you're excited. King of Swords, but you have it under a King of Swords energy. Whatever your excitement is, it's like you're keeping it on a simmer. Ooh, whoa. Well, it's not going to be on a simmer for long because you have a Tower. There's something around your healing, I think, that you're going to awaken to in an experience or an exchange that may take you by surprise. This feels like a conversation or a meeting of the minds. And I'm feeling like you have a powerful conversation coming up. All right, now, sorry, I didn't mean to make noise there. Let's now talk about your pre-shuffled oracle messages before we clarify the tarot. You have the first card, the card of possibility. And you know what's interesting? I'm just going to point this out. You have possibility, cycles, and rest. And if you notice, they're number 34, 27, and 11. 34 breaks down to 7, 27 breaks down to 9. So you have 7, 9, 11. So it's like, take the steps, follow the yellow brick road. Right? Follow the steps, okay, Taurus? But let's now go to the card of possibility. This is Samhain. Samhain is, close to the Day of the Dead. It's when the veil thins. It's when we have a direct, more energetic link to our ancestors. It seems like you're wrapping up and burning away of an old cycle. As you can see, he's been protected here in his own energy frequency, and he's surrounded by fire. And he's got a fire under him. It's almost like you were put under, like, I envision you maybe felt like a piece of coal where you had pressure mounting around you to really let go of something. And it may have been very difficult, but you did, because this indicates that you have now wrapped up a cycle. This is Helios. He's the Greek titan of the sun. And, even when he was provoked, he displayed virtues of forgiveness and grace. So I think that you may have had someone who was a little bit in their devilish energy and their egoic energy who would provoke you, and you learned a lot from those interactions. But you've been burning away the past and letting it go and healing. And now you are now circling the sun, and you are illuminating the patterns and cycles in your life, and you're learning from it. And what you're learning now is, in the month of January, it's like that pause, because you're in this transition to a Wands, that pause after you've gone through a lot, especially around matters of the heart. You're triumphing over matters of the heart, and you're still keeping the faith. I love it. You're like, I still believe, Jenna. I've been through a lot, but I still am holding on to hope. But the biggest message I got for you is it is safe for you to rest and regroup. This is the card of rest. This is about consciously building more downtime into your life in January. It's very important. You need to continue to rest, because whatever you went through, I think it took a lot out of you, and you have something coming in. It could be a new person coming in that you might have a surprising something going on. I don't know. It's something surprising. Can't wait to clarify that. Could be a potential air sign with the King of Swords here. Let's see. You also have Cancerian energy you're heading towards, so that could also be a person of interest if you're curious about that. But rest, I mean, look at that. She's in this like soft pillow of flowers. She's got the sun shining on her face. Like the sun is coming out. It really is that, Annie. The sun will come out tomorrow. You've been burning away the past. what maybe have been a little bit of a toxic cycle, a repeating pattern. You've been learning from it. Now it's time to rest, build more play, movement, fun into your life in January. It's like the energy's lighting up for you. Oop, let me put these over here so you can see them. My bad. So there's a softening. Maybe you had to bristle up, right, to protect your energy. You did maybe stand strong, right? And now you're softening. You're softening to self. You're softening to your own energy. You're in your own lane, basically, Taurus. And I think you're really enjoying this time in your life. If not, you can, and you do have an opportunity to rest. And, I always take it back to whenever we're going through turbulent times, I try to remember that I'm an unlimited being. I'm an eternal being. I'm ageless, ancient. And if you think of that, you don't have this sense of urgency that you got to get it all done in this lifetime, that like you're under some sort of pressure, right, to have this or that. If we come from the perspective of I'm lacking in some way, then you're always reaching outside of you for validation. And I think that I'm talking about this because maybe that's what you've been doing, is working on internal validation. And we did talk about this emotional autonomy in your last reading. And once you have that lesson down, you won't forsake it again. And you realize, you know what? I got eternity to figure out these things. So it's almost like I'm saying this because maybe recently, or maybe you should consider giving yourself a break, right? Cutting yourself some slack, not being too hard on yourself, giving that forgiveness and grace to you, not just to others in your life. All right, let's now clarify. I want to get into the Two of Wands. You're leaning on this new wand, right? Which is representative of the future. You've got the world beside you in a little Volkswagen van. I had one of those. You could be considering world travel. In the new year, you're dreaming. What do I want next? I love the Two of Wands because it is the card of hopeful optimism on the path as you let go of energies that were dragging you down, Taurus. All right. So you can go where you're led, right? You're led, not where someone else wants to lead you. All right, Two of Wands. Ooh, we have Justice sideways. Yeah, it's taking you a hot minute to come back into balance. Six of Cups. Interesting. Yeah, I love it. You're doing a lot of inner child work. Queen of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Justice, Two of Wands. I love this. It also indicates that you had a soul contract that you were having a difficult time balancing out because the Justice was sideways, and almost releasing that. I'm telling you, I know that you've had this battle for a while, releasing a past contract that expired. And this is the work, right? Letting go of people that we know we learned what we needed to learn. And I wouldn't say you were letting this go if it wasn't for Sam Hain sitting here. It's like part of your soul's contract. And you're like, I know now how to ground in my own frequency, and I love myself. Some of you have children. This is the card of the Earth Mother. She is a provider. She's head of household, male or female. This is the embodiment of softening towards the little beings in your life. If you have children, if not, you're a little being, your inner child. That little girl, little boy in you that wants to feel safe and secure. You're saying, I got you. And, you realize your life is a lifelong journey when it comes to staying in balance and being fair to yourself. In other words, I feel as though now that you've done a lot of the work you've been working on in self, you're in a very grounded place to welcome in a new journey. Let's talk about this new journey in January with the Fool. Ooh, we have the Four of Pentacles sideways. Four of Swords. Yeah, I know you've been working on your healing, and you have Ten of Wands. I know it's hard, sweethearts. Oh, I want to give you a big hug because I know how hard it is when we have to rest and slow down. And Spirit saying, just keep holding on to your frequency. You are in a new cycle, all right? But you're at the very beginning of it. And this is you being slow, right? Not rushing into anything new. And I know it's hard. It's like your healing journey has been front and center in your conscious awareness for a hot minute. And it's about you rebuilding your life on your own, in your own energy frequency. Whether you're partnered or not, this is you being independent and focusing on what you need to face your shadow, to heal the inner child. And you're holding on to this. You're like, I've learned so much on the path, but the journey's like this deep, deep inner dive is almost done, because you're at the 10 of Wands where you're like, okay, I'm ready to release this stage I've been in. This is all signs are pointing towards you are perfectly poised to start a new journey. And what that is, it's about you coming out of your hermit mode. And let's talk about it. The challenge. Page of Swords. This is the beginning of communication. Doing the research. You could be starting to initiate texting with someone. Coming out of hermit mode. Tell me about this Page of Swords and the Hermit. Temperance, yeah. I'm seeing everywhere you coming into balance. Wow. Whew. I think this, yeah, the biggest work. And I think please don't be hard on yourself, because you could be looking back on the past and reframing it from a critical eye and going, why didn't I listen to my intuition? I knew it, but I didn't listen. I did it anyway, right? Oops, I did it again. You know what? That's what I mean. I keep getting this whole reading is like, give yourself a break, Taurus. Like, you can be hard on yourself. And I understand you, because I'm Libra. We both are under that Empress energy. We're like, spirit sisters or brothers. I understand how hard you try and how hard you love other people. But then when you put their energy first, you're not really focusing on you. And that's the whole lesson I think you've been learning is it's about me going inward and learning how to come into balance inside, tempering my energy so I can actually trust and listen to my intuition moving forward. Because when you trust your intuition, you don't get overwhelmed by choices or by decisions. You're solid. And that means a lot to you. Coming from a balanced place emotionally, intellectually, mentally, all of that. All of the mental, physical, spiritual aspects of life, when you are grounded and in balance and you know that you can create your own sense of security and stability inside. And that might have been one of the bigger lessons for you. I create that. I don't need that from anybody. But this is a big lesson for you, is really learning to trust your intuition and coming from a balanced place. And more inward place. In other words, your spiritual work is the marriage between the hermit and the high priestess here. So you can go out into the world, and when you communicate with others, you can see your perspective and theirs. And that might have been what your karmic journey was about when it comes to love. You're learning, and I love it. You're like, I've been humbled on the path. And we all get to that point where a contract will come in, and it will really turn our world upside down. It will turn our emotional state upside down. And then you withdraw, retreat, you heal, and you're like, wow, I'm not the same person. And that's why it was there to begin with. So you could grow. It's all about growth. Let's see where you're headed with this Chariot. I think you're really still working on yourself and your own growth. Ace of Cups want to come out reverse. There's the King of Pentacles. Wow. Interesting. That is fascinating energy. Okay, and this might have been what got you into trouble. I see that. You're grounded, you're rooted, right? Overall general energy. Doing a lot of healing of your inner child, focusing on the home life, dreaming of what's next. What you don't see coming is you're moving forward, right? You're starting to access that masculine energy where you're like poking your head out, like what's out there? I want to get excited again. I'm curious about what's out there. But Spirit's also indicating that Ace of Cups in reverse is, I'm getting it now. It's not that you don't deserve to have fun and offer your heart to someone, but in some ways it's like you want the physical like connection. You want to feel the fire, but your heart isn't quite ready. That's what it feels like. Ace of Cups in reverse. If not, you could be dealing with someone you're having a hard time coming into balance with if you're in a connection. And it's like the love is starting, like this is falling out of love with someone, but you know what? That's very normal, right? You can't possibly stay at the height of being madly in love with someone during a long-term commitment. So for the people who are single, I'm getting this strong indication that you're good, but you may not be ready. And for people in a long-term partnership, you're really trying to bring some of that fire back into the relationship and therefore being more connected through the heart. There's some sort of disconnect. Like, it's practical, it makes sense, it runs on its own, but it's like same old, right? Status quo. Like, I want like more fun. So you're for those of you who are coupled, you're definitely working on healing this connection, and you're going to hold on to it. But a lot of the healing that needs to take place is around you healing your wounds and not putting that on the other person. So that's why there might be a shocking conversation here, because whether you're single or partnered, I think you could be communicating even with the universe this month. And they're saying, go inward. This is about you coming into balance with yourself, Taurus. If you have any romantic situation that's not quite feeling right, that is okay. It's about your stability and moving forward. And the more you stay in lock and key with that, the better you're able to handle whatever comes your way that turns your eye. In other words, learn from the past. Don't get overly focused on how someone else is showing up. It's about how you show up. I'm getting an itch on my palm, left palm. Yeah, a lot of you have a masculine ancestor who's passed that is always looking over you, thinking of you, sending you positive energy. All right, let's get into the Knight of Wands, King of Swords, Tower. I'm very curious about this. What is this about? I think January is going to be a month of stability and you feeling solid and centered as long as you stay in your own lane. They keep saying that the whole reading. Stay in your own lane, Taurus. All right. Something is exciting you, and you've got some sort of surprise here coming in. Feels like it's maybe towards I just heard mid-January. Towards mid-January. Oh, there's the Hermit. Yeah, I knew it. 8 of Wands, Knight of Wands. It is. Something's bringing you out of your cave. You're going to have a pretty surprising conversation at some point. It could be in a few weeks. This is conversation, communication, fiery communication. And I think it's going to help you, whatever this conversation is about. It could be with an elder. It could be with someone that you consider to be spiritually wise. It could be a teacher. There's going to be like a clearing of the air. And it's whatever it is, it's going to set you on, it's like when you come out of a cycle and you're in this brand new place and the first energy you meet, and it's going to be something that surprises you. That's all I can say. It's going to be a conversation, incoming communication. And it's going to make you think a lot. Yeah. It is, because now you have the Six of Pentacles, an exchange of energy, right? That's very spiritual in nature, and you're going to see things from a different perspective. And it's going to help you wrap up a cycle that we have the world, the strength that you've been very disappointed in, because there was a lot of illusions, 4 cups to the 7 of cups and the Tower. This is about your stability, Taurus. I don't know who this person is coming in. Like I said, it could be someone with strong Virgo placements or Scorpio placements. But it's something that is going to help you heal. I don't know what lies beyond that. Maybe the advice will show us. Let's see. Let's get some advice. Let's get some advice here. I think too, it's like, go towards your desires and do your very best to keep your heart open. I think that's what's been hard for you, is when we aren't really healed fully and we're not over past hurts. Sometimes we'll track things in and we're not really ready to approach what's new with vulnerability. And I think that's you're working toward that. They wanted me to clarify that even. They were like, no, this is Taurus being afraid to keep their heart open and be vulnerable, being transparent. Whether that's towards a current partner that you're trying to heal things with and find that excitement again, and you're learning the lessons, or you're wanting to open up to a new connection and there's some fear. You don't want anything to take away from what you've built, your stability, and I get it. Yeah. 6 of Pentacles want to come out in reverse. We have the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups. You have learned. Your advice here is you have learned what it's like when it's not equal give and take, when it comes to giving your heart to someone. So Also, for those of you in partnership, there is a mismatch in energy. And it's time to bring more heart, more vulnerability, more tenderness to the love between you and this person. And I see that you're aware that this is something's been off for a little bit with this person, but you're going to be bringing in, it doesn't have to be a romantic partner. This is somebody who's your equal with the king and queen. This could be, too, you tying up a loose end from the past. Some of you, this might be an ex, and you're having a final conversation. But for most of you, this doesn't feel like an ex energy. It just, this advice kind of came out that could be a potential possibility here. But I think that you might have, and this is what I mean here, you could have somebody coming in with an apology that you actually really love. Okay, Queen of Cups. But you're not going to give to it. I mean, this is being generous with others. This is also when you've been overly generous and overly compassionate and lacking boundaries. You know, where maybe you keep an ex in your life and you know you're not ready to do that yet. Okay, so the advice here is give with an open heart, but don't overgive, and make sure that there's equal exchange of energy here, because you deserve that. You deserve unconditional love. And if you have someone who's not giving you that, it's time to address it. There is an important conversation happening. I feel the first 2 weeks of January, Taurus. It's going to help you wrap up a cycle and move on. All right, let's get a final card pull from the Sacred Forest Oracle. Good work, Taurus. Good work. It's all about grounding and stabilizing. Yeah, and healing from love. We have love, enlightenment, protection, and knowledge. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see which one. This one. Knowledge. Yep. You've been gaining self-mastery in your knowledge. Look at that. We've got the air spirit. So you've been learning a lot of lessons here. Burning away an old cycle. 0 point. You've got number 1, 2. So we went from the Fool to the 1. So you're taking the steps towards a brand new beginning. Let's see what the air spirit has to say. You receive this card when you need to think things through. This is not the time to be impulsive. Do not react instinctively to situations and people. Take into consideration all points of view. Do your research. Listen to others. Speak your truth. Take time to weigh the pros and cons of a situation. It is an excellent time to begin a new venture or project. It will succeed as long as you are thoughtful, organized, and focused. There is a remarkable wellspring of wisdom within you. Take a breath, slow and deep, and delve into that inner knowledge. It will guide you in the right direction. Air represents wisdom, our mental activity, and our ability to reason. It's also associated with thoughts, intellect, communication, and comprehension. Through our breath, we can speak and express ourselves. Our lives begin with our first breath, so air is connected with new beginnings. The spirit of air oversees friendship, clarity, and positive focus in life. The spirit of air says, inhale. Take a moment to think things through. Think as well as feel the right direction, which the spirit kept saying that too, between the challenge with the High Priestess and this Ace of Cups in reverse with the Chariot. Get clarity and become focused before stepping forth. Take care to have thoughtful communication with others. I told you, there's some sort of thoughtful communication. I feel like it could be one with more than one person. It could be with a past person and a new person. And for those of you in partnership, this is with your partner. Trying to clear the air, having like an awakening in the vulnerability, and you're going to learn things that might surprise you. Whatever this is a surprising conversation that's going to take place, what feels like the first few weeks of January, that's going to set you on the right course. Right? Your knowledge, right? Knowledge means wisdom. It brings wisdom. So with that being said, Happy New Year. Sending love.